All right, I want to explain frame. I think this is something that people kind of get wrong in terms of fitness. So, what a lot of people want in terms of a physique, right, is what they think they want and what they actually want are different. So, for my first like 3 years of lifting, I thought I wanted the weight to go up. Like, I thought I wanted the scale weight to go up, which was partially true. But what I actually wanted was to look good. I wanted to have a physique that looked visually appealing in clothes and out of clothes. And so what I did, the way I trained in 8 was to get the number on the scale to go up. Obviously I didn't want to get fat, but you know, I just wanted that number to go up, okay? And what that led to was a few different mistakes. So first of all, in training, the things I was training weren't for the goal I actually wanted. They were for the goal I thought I wanted. And then for what I was eating, it wasn't for the goal I wanted. It was for the goal I thought I wanted. So let's first of all define why, or what the actual goal you want is. Okay. Most likely, you want a V taper physique with high muscle mass and low body fat percentage, to look good in and out of clothes. Okay. So that's the actual goal. Most people initially have like a weight goal, which is part of it. You need some kind of quality metric on that weight goal. For example, your ratios, your waist circumference, body fat percentage. Okay? So generally, what people want is a V taper. So that means you take your clavicular width and I don't know if I can angle my camera a bit. Clavicular width and your waist. You want this to be bigger than this, okay? Then you want low body fat. So you want, do I have any veins right now? It's kind of cold. You want veins. You want to be able to see your definition, okay? You want abs probably. So those are two. And then you want high muscle mass, okay? So there's like 3 variables we're kind of going towards. So everyone has a different genetic set point when it comes to the body fat percentage that is like is easier to obtain. It's like your low point basically. And then your frame, just the way your body is structured. Some people have wider clavicles, some people have narrower clavicles. Some people have average clavicles. Some people have like a smaller waist. Some people have a bigger waist, bigger like hips, whatever. So, regardless of that, everyone has a different genetic set point. So that's why it's difficult to compare yourself to other people, and it's not always good, but it can be good. Basically, I think the best path is to change your goal a little bit to what you will actually want at the end rather than what you think you want now. So let's go over some issues with training in the way that doesn't build those things. Okay. So first of all, if you're just hammering deadlifts, you end up getting, and I'm probably gonna get like some hate or something for this, but you get really big like low back muscles here. So like your low back just gets like really bulky like this, which is fine. But for aesthetics, what you want is like a bigger upper back, smaller waist. So if you're constantly hammering that, you're just gonna increase your low back and you're gonna get more like thickness this way and not much here. Versus if you're training lateral raises, shoulders a lot, you'll get bigger here, not much bigger here. Okay. Now, let's talk about food versus basically just food choice. It's like, how do you eat for this goal versus just for weight? So, body fat percentage. That's going to be the biggest thing. I would recommend, if you can, get a DEXA scan. That's kind of the best in terms of like a singular measurement. But really, get a bioelectrical impedance scale. Those things are awesome because not for the pure accuracy, DEXA is better, but for the ability to do it every single day and get a relative increase or decrease in your body fat so you can see if what you're doing is actually working or not. Okay? So if you have one of those, you can weigh yourself every day. That way you have a quality metric on your quantity metric for weight. So you know, okay, I'm a certain weight and I'm a certain body fat percentage. Like if you're 170 pounds and you're 20% body fat, you might, if you don't have the quality metric, you might be like, oh, I'm 170 pounds, cool. But if you had 170 pounds, 10% body fat, you'd be like, awesome. Make sense? Cool. That's the first thing. That'll give you intuitions on what you're doing, if it's incorrect or not. So for me, I was kind of going down one path and then I kind of realized some of this. And then I got a bioelectrical impedance scale. And it might not have been perfect, but I was 15%. And I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of like, I'm kind of getting a little bit fat. Okay, that's bad. So then I went to 9%. I like went the other way. Now I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That allows you to know actually kind of like more what you're doing because you can measure it. So yeah, that's the first thing. Is get a bioelectrical impedance scale. I guess the second thing, because the first thing is kind of changing the way you train. So train more muscle groups that actually benefit your goals rather than just like what you should do, like the 5x5, whatever dog shit, like just things that actually benefit what you're trying to do, which is look good mostly, and be strong. People have different goals, whatever. I'm assuming most people, the average person's goals right now, which is look good. So yeah, then for eating, okay, that intuition from the bioelectrical impedance scale will give you better control on like what you're actually putting in your body and how massing versus cutting changes, you know, your composition and your weight as well. So eating from now on is gonna feel a little bit different because you'll be like, okay, if I'm gaining weight at this rate, my body fat percentage is going up at this rate, which is fine, but I just want to make sure that my muscle mass is going up more. And you know, that'll kind of cause you to eat more properly, which is generally going to be in a way that causes you to gain around 0.5 pound of body weight per week. So you can gain like the most amount of muscle with the least amount of fat mass. And yeah. Then for cutting, it's helpful as well. You can try to slow your cuts down a little bit so that you lose less muscle mass. So staying in like a 500, 250 calories deficit. That way you're losing fat, but you're losing less muscle mass. And then just keeping your training volume high and then making sure you're not dropping weight. That was a mistake I made last cut, is my training like got worse, and so I lost muscle mass, versus what you want to do is keep the training very similar to when you're in a massing phase. That way you're not losing strength, which means you're not losing muscle mass. So yeah. Yeah, I'm doing a call for free. Got a call here. Speaking of calls, yeah, I'm doing a free call in the description if you want to hop on a call. And yeah, so pretty much realign your goals to what you actually want. If what you actually want is a bigger number on the scale, cool. If potentially more likely it's you do want a bigger number on the scale, but you want a quality metric for that. You want a certain look, a certain V-taper, a certain body fat percentage. Make sure you're also going for that so you don't get yourself into like a weird situation or a hole. And yeah, then bioelectrical impedance, change the way you're training and the way you're massing or cutting, whatever you're doing there. But yeah, hope that was helpful, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.